Welcome again to Joe Stunner Boxing. You know, if there's one thing I love, and perhaps I'm not alone in this, it's watching two undefeated fighters come together. Two young guys, they're putting it all on the line, and they both come to win. And to me, that in a scenario like that, there aren't really going to be any losers because even if you do lose, um, you can actually lose, and your stock is enhanced if you put up a game performance. If you get outclassed, it may tell you what you've got to work on. Well, it will tell you what you've got to work on. And it's a test. It's a mental test as well as a physical test. It's a test of your character. And we had two fighters. This was on a Golden Boy card over in Mexico. We had Irvin Turrubiartes against Sebastian Hernandez. And Turrubiartes, 25 years old, came in with a 25 wins, 15 KOs, undefeated, and he had a draw on his record as well. Hadn't really faced many terrific fighters, all in Mexico. I think he beat a couple of fights ago. He beat an undefeated guy, stopped him in 6. But, good record, good record. In Mexico, you never know because they've got so much talent over there. Sometimes, these hidden gems. Certainly, you'll know this if you're from the UK because they come to Britain and very often upset the proverbial apple cart. But Sebastian Hernandez, only 22, looks about 32. He came in with 13 wins, 12 KOs, no draws, no defeats, and he was the one who picked up the win. He beat Turrubiartes by 5th round knockout, and it was a knockout. He knocked him flat with an overhand right, landed bang on the jaw. Turrubiartes hit the floor, sort of almost half sat up, and then I think he didn't really know where he was. Was on the floor for a couple of minutes. Thankfully, got up and was okay. But this was a very, very impressive performance by a 22-year-old guy from Mexico. Who, again, he hadn't really, if you look at it statistically, if you have a look at his record, 13 wins coming in with 12 KOs, but he fought no one. But the talent is there. I mean, it's really, really there. He has a sort of Oscar Valdez, maybe a Miguel Burchelt type of style, which is ironic because he was on the undercard of the Burchelt comeback fight. Golden Boy promotion it's over on DAZN if you want to go and have a look at it. But very, very impressive. I mean, if this is what he's like at 22, Hernandez, God knows what it'll be like when he actually is 30 or 28 or something, in his prime. Because physically he looked extremely imposing, moving forward, very ominous pressure fighting, very busy with his punches, didn't neglect the jab, was banging to the body. Turrubiartes, although 3 years older, looked, wouldn't say intimidated, but he looked under the cosh from pretty much the word go. And there was a method to Hernandez. He was firing punches that were, intelligently thought out, shall we say. He didn't throw when he was out of range. He was just going to overwhelm you, and he was going to use his physical prowess as well as his undoubted skills to ask questions of you. And Turrubiartes, was fighting back. He got into trouble. He was badly shaken. I think it was the 2nd or 3rd round. But he carried on fighting. There were a couple of moments in, was it the third or the 4th, something like that, where you thought, the ref's going to stop this. But Turrubiartes, no quitting him. And his body language and certainly his facial expression suggested, like, what the hell am I doing here? I mean, this guy's, Jesus Christ, I'm going to have... He was fighting to survive. That's not to say he was running or anything. But he was just desperate to try and sort of hold back the tide, which as we know is impossible to do in some cases with someone like Hernandez in your face. And Hernandez at no point was perturbed, seemed cool, I wouldn't say patient because he was moving forward very quickly. This was an 8-rounder, so I think he decided I'm going to get my work done quickly. And Turrubiartes was, even though he was still fighting back, he was almost forced to try to survive, if you know what I mean. It wasn't that he'd slipped into that mindset. It's just that the pressure was so much, he kind of thought, oh my God, I've got to get out of this round. Well, in the 5th round, like I say, Hernandez lowered the boom, and a very, very impressive performance. Great to see two undefeateds going at each other. Turrubiartes at 25 can come again. He looked to me, even though I think he was a taller guy, he looked physically thinner and perhaps lacking a bit of physical strength. People mature at different rates. Like Hernandez, like I say, he's 22 and he looks 30. He looks like he's already got his man strength, and he may well have. But Turrubiartes, he might not get into his prime till he's 28. He might not get his man strength, so he can come back. But make no mistake about it, Sebastian Hernandez is a threat. His nickname is Logan, by the way, which is rather apt because of Logan Paul's fight on that, that awful, I don't know what they call it, Misfits, is it? Anyway, I don't know why it's called Logan because his name's Sebastian Hernandez, but there we are. He is a threat. It'll be a threat. He will be. And yeah, I mean, just very, very impressive. Very, very impressive fighter. Let me know what you think. Have a look at this fight. Like I say, it's on DAZN, card from Mexico. Tell me what you think. And yeah, leave your comments below. I'll have a read of them and try to answer them. There's getting to be a lot of comments left, so I'm having difficulty answering every single one, but I really do appreciate your comments, and I do read them. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. Takes a second. Don't cost you anything. And hit the like button as well. That'll be a great help to us. All right. Thanks for your time as always, and bye for now.